Hey everyone, it's Harry here to talk about Hunter Biden and Marjorie Taylor Greene. What an odd set of antagonists. So, Hunter Biden is really in a lamentable position. He's basically arm's length from everybody. The president tries to be a supportive father, but he's got strict orders to be kind of hands off. The White House has strict orders to be kind of hands off. And so Biden was, you'll recall, the subject of all these insinuations by Trump way back in 2016. And he has been under active federal criminal investigation for something like 5 years by a U.S. attorney in Delaware, the Biden home state, whom Trump appointed and whom the current administration kept in office precisely because they wanted to avoid any scent of politics in removing him because of Hunter Biden. Nevertheless, the years have ticked on to hear the Hunter Biden camp anyway. He's basically gotten sober, trying to get his life together, but he's walks around like a criminal defendant. Anyway, this is a good example. By the way, I'm going off on a tangent here. But why do you want to keep grand jury material secret, even the fact of who's being investigated? Because if you don't actually bring the criminal charges, it's a terrible prejudice to the potential person. And that is Hunter Biden now. There are these vague, ominous suggestions of, really financial. The worst of it is supposedly attempt to try to profit from his relationship with then Vice President Biden and with China dealings and then thereafter anything from that to sort of smaller tax things arising out of his admitted drug dependency, cocaine for a few years. But it's just sort of twisting in the wind. Now, he was content for a time on the no news is good news plan to not push things too hard or too strong. But he's actually changed his strategy of late. He has a very good and very aggressive lawyer now, a Washington well-known operator named Abby Lowell. And they're coming out more aggressively to say, you're making a political football of me. So they're trying to do a few things. One, get information. Is this still a live criminal investigation or not? I have a right, for the U.S. government to put up or shut up on this instead of keeping me, dangling with the sword of Damocles over my head. But he's become this all-purpose political football whom nobody defends and whom people on the right savage. So that's been the latest. And here's where our old buddy Marjorie Taylor Greene comes in. She feels apparent impunity to say all kinds of outrageous shit about Hunter Biden. She's posted on social media. She just accused him of being linked to an Eastern prostitution or human trafficking ring, shades of Pizzagate. There's a picture with him driving in a convertible with his niece and her cousin, and she just says he's on crack and with prostitutes. Just, one, so low life. She's, really how low can you go is when you're Marjorie Taylor Greene, it's lower than low because that is her stock in trade. You have this perverse kind of dynamic where, the lower and more lying she goes, the more the libs, shake their fists. It's an outrage. And of course it is. And the more her MAGA band love her. She's now become, I think, a really fundraising juggernaut there and, the face of the new Republican Party. It is basically repulsive. But so Abby Lowell today, or over today, called for a congressional ethics investigation, saying that she's had these unmoored verbal abuses at Hunter Biden. Now, here it might actually be, well, it wouldn't be speech and debate. We learned a little bit about that with Mike Pence, where she's doing these nasty, gratuitous social media posts. But there may still nevertheless be unethical behavior having to do with, things that are undignified for a member of Congress to be doing. Separately, Lowell wants to know, because some of he's asked the Inspector General of the Treasury Department, because some quote unquote suspicious activity reports, which the Inspector General, which the Treasury Department might prepare if there's some kind of financial suspicious activity involving foreign currency and the like. Somehow they wound up in the possession, ones involving Hunter Biden, of the White House, a Trump, loyalist named Garrett Ziegler, during the Trump administration. How did that happen? That also seems like a rank violation. And it seems like, this sort of rule of one for Hunter Biden. He's, out there. He's permanently under suspicion. Nobody can really clear him, or at least the U.S. attorney won't. And in the meantime, he's just a piñata for the likes of Marjorie Taylor Greene, and he was before under the previous administration. So his lawyer goes on the offensive a little on his own. The White House doesn't want any part of it, but is trying to shine a light on what's been obvious abuses of the criminal investigative process by the Republicans, all to try to bring disrepute on to the president. And nothing has happened so far, but it doesn't stop them from saying all manner of nasty stuff. It's not at all clear that the Abby Lowell motion involving Marjorie Taylor Greene will go anywhere. It might, but it's a little bit, she'll be talking about, maybe it's part of her job and it's all controlled by the Republicans. We'll see. But shining a light on it nevertheless does something. And then, of course, it was rank impropriety for these suspicious activity reports to wind up at the White House. So we should get to the bottom of that. But really, Hunter Biden wants to, go on the offensive and, figure out what's happening. It's a very precarious course, right? Because it could just lead David Weiss to bring some dibby-dab charge against him. Okay, you're insisting. You're sort of implicitly criticizing me, for not doing anything and letting me twist and dangle in the wind for 6 years. I am. And so it's something that could result in his being charged, though obviously they don't have the case of the century there, because they're not bringing it, not really doing anything. So that's the story with Hunter Biden and Marjorie Taylor Greene. In the short term, I think his lawyer expects she'll just use it to, revel and say more. In fact, here's what the charming, talented Ms. Greene said. Hunter's upset over my statement, she wrote. Well, Hunter, the entire country is pissed off about your obvious influence peddling with your daddy's political power. Completely unfounded, completely unmoored, completely, nasty, and completely using Hunter to try to get at Biden. She's, really, how low can you go? But that's the politics of the day we live in, that somebody like her not only can keep going low, but can flourish and become a leader and someone who the other Republicans are scared of, because she holds, among other things, fundraising prowess. All right, so there we have it. We'll see what happens with the Hunter Biden things and how else he can go on the offensive. He's also seeking a meeting with the U.S. attorney. Maybe something will finally be dislodged. The department can't just, keep somebody under suspicion forever. But it's been a long time. All righty, more to come on Hunter Biden. Until then, talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.